We are. Finally got it working, Joe. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone on the other side of this camera.
Yes. You had a busy week planned, but somehow that kind of went on the south of the north where you wanted to be.
Well, so it is Thursday on the 20th of August here today, and I was scheduled to be out all week this week because I was off a handful of days, 4 days, about 3 weeks ago. And Renee and I are painting our house. We needed a new roof, so we thought let's just take advantage of this time because it's hasn't been painted in years and years and years. So when I had those 4 or so days off, a few weeks ago, I scraped and we primed and did all that. Well, this week was the week I wanted to do the painting. Lo and behold, the roofers show up this morning. We had a staff retreat on Tuesday, so I've had 1 day, Wednesday. We painted on Wednesday. And I had a funeral on Monday, so I couldn't do it then. So anyway, long story short, I'm back in the office.
Back in the office, yeah.
Today and tomorrow because the roofers are creating chaos.
That can be a little bit messy.
Renee texted me about 11 o'clock and said, good thing you're not painting today. And then showed me a picture of a window that was broken because they just threw a board down or something. And had I been under it, it might have been my arm instead of the window.
Sure. So, yeah, that's a good reason to be here.
That's why I'm here. That's right.
Yeah, I had an interesting visit for me Tuesday. I told you about my daughter. My daughter and her husband and her 3 kids, they're leaving next week. They're moving to Florida. And so they came up on Tuesday. About 3:30 I met them in Chilton, and that's kind of hard. I'm going to miss my kids.
I can't imagine.
My kids and
How many
grandkids.
grandkids?
Yeah, 3 of them, and they just came up to say goodbye. We talked, and it, how they said they want to come back in the summer because they can work remotely from home, and they have a place they want to stay at a lake. But you know how that works. Time tends to so and just getting settled into a home and making a house into a home and getting settled with the kids in school and getting their workspace, that's going to take a while. So I don't know that I'll see them for a while, and that's hard. Yeah.
So not that I know what you're going through, but on a different note, we've had our goodbyes too this last week. So we took Molly back to school last Tuesday. I took her to Ames, and Bridgie, Renee took to St. Paul this last, so Molly was 9 days ago, Bridgie was this last Tuesday. So our house, which both of them have been home since March, since COVID struck, and we really had a delightful 5 months together in getting to know them as adults and the conversations that were taking place and how wonderful. But their schools are going to attempt to do, I think, a hybrid at their colleges. And so, and Bridgie's an RA, and so needed to check in early. And so goodbyes took place here, but I have to say one thing we did. Now, I'm saying we Zanks are kind of weird, but we like a number of things, and one of those is we like to run. And not that we like to run, but we all run.
Yes.
So we like ice cream, and we like music. So what we decided to do was do what's called a mini Ragnar. A big Ragnar is 200 miles that you get a team of about 12 people to do, and you do it in parts. Well, we ran from our house out by School Hill into the Culvers in Sheboygan.
Oh my goodness!
16 miles, but we didn't all, no, it did, we took parts. So everyone took 3 miles, and then one of us took 1 mile. I won't say who just did the 1 mile. But we did it in parts, and we listened to music while we were waiting for everybody and cheered them on. Every half mile, we would put a car and cheer the person on. And we did it in 2 hours and like 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it was a ball. And so we did that the day before Molly left. So
what a way to spend some time together.
Well, and then we got ice cream, man. That was our goal.
Yeah.
Right? We're spending time
together. A little bit
together.
hard work to get there.
Well, you had to work, but it was fun. It was fun.
Cool.
It was just
that is
dumb Zank thing that we did.
Yeah, that is fun.
Memorable.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff to do, and summer brings that on.
How's your garage coming?
It is completed, other than the garage doors need to go on, and then I have to dig a trench from the garage that I have, the attached garage with the house. I have to dig a trench 10 foot long to bring power from the garage over to the new shed. And the first 3 feet of it, I had picked more rock and stone. There's a couple about that size near the foundation, and so I'll be needing a pick and a shovel to get the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And the guy who was helping me said, I only need one about that wide, but the problem is, and only about that deep, and about that deep near because of the rock taking that there. And so, but I'll have an old pick there to get them out, but that'll get over there. I have 2 funerals Friday. So
I'll be working on the railroad as you're
yes,
like hitting the pick over there.
I'll get that the old chain gang.
Yeah, right, the chain gang. Yeah.
But that is coming, and once we get the power over there, then we can start working in it and using it, and we can drive in it now. But it's a great tool. It's really good. The Amish do a great job, and I'm really impressed with it.
Good.
And my brother is doing similar, but it's exciting to see it, but there's a mess around it because we move dirt, trying to get seed. I won't be working about the yard for another year because it just takes a while for it to settle. But no, it's good. It's good. Going well.
So Dennis and I talked before we started this, and we decided this was a COVID-free video.
Yes.
We've all heard enough about that for a while. So we have some things we're going to talk about, but it won't be that.
No.
We're tired.
Yes.
We just...
I'm COVID out.
So, a couple of things going on. One is Divine Savior auction. Couldn't take place this spring. I won't say why, but they did it virtually, and it ended about 10 days ago. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who may have given things toward it, support Catholic education, viewed it, bid on it, whatever. It went fantastic. And the committee, God love you for all the work you put in for it. But don't have a number on it yet, but it went really, really well. And I just think that's so great because that supports Catholic education. And again, we're not trying to, in any way, shape, or form, put down public education. We say we love supporting Catholic education. The goal and intent of Catholic education is to create disciples amongst those peoples that are there. That is our evangelization. That is one of the major tools that we use.
Yes.
And that's why it's so important. And so thank you for those who did help in any way. But that's great news, and that's going to be really helpful for the school, Divine Savior.
Well, I'm relatively new to these 3 parishes.
You're not anymore. You've been here a year and a half. There's no relatively new about this.
Okay.
How long do you have to be here?
But I'm learning. But I'm learning, Joe.
Well, that you are.
I'm learning. I get my learning curve is there, but I'm learning the love, the support that all of you, the genuine love you have for your parishes, but also the school, and the generosity which is reflected in everyone that I've met, and the pride they take in their physical building, but also in that they're being children of God and love one another. It's that I'm really, really overwhelmed with. I saw it in the Lenten projects.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm seeing in this and how we've come through
the collections through the last 5 months.
Yes.
We won't talk about why.
Why? Yes. But I'm just so when I say relatively new, it's because I've been other places many years.
In a geological sense, yes, it's very new. But
Yes.
a year and a half is not new anymore.
No. Pardon me.
Speaking of school, many of you who may be watching have children, grandchildren that are preparing to go, and that's wonderful. And, we're dealing with that in the Zenk House too. And so not this coming weekend, but the following one. So what would that be? Today is the 20th, 21st, 22nd.
30th.
Thank you. August 30th, the weekend of August 29th and 30th. We will do blessings for anyone going back to school. So if you are a family, if you're a student, faculty, staff, college age, all the way down to preschool, whatever, we are going to have blessings at all of our masses because we want to bless you.
Yes.
So make sure you start this school year with a good blessing. Come anytime, but August 29th and 30th.
Get that blessing from all three parishes, and everybody raises their hands in prayer over that, over all of them, and there's a commonality of that support for one another. I'm seeing that so often. So yes.
Yeah.
I think the school is doing quite well. I talked to Carrie here and there, and I'm excited for school because Joe, Joe and I don't know how it's going to look this year because
I'm not sure. I don't know
because of what the past, but typically Joe and I would make classroom visits. I'm so excited for that to take place. If nothing else, to see them, wave to them when they're going in and out of school or at the school mass. That's going to be something that because I always love seeing the children.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yep.
Love kids.
So, you may have come to Mass recently, you may not have, but we're kind of being goofballs because we put out palms
Yeah.
these last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How do they look, Dennis?
They look dry.
They look dry is an understatement.
Yes.
They look like they are ready to turn into ash before us.
Yes.
However, they are blessed and they are good.
Yes, they are.
So if you wish to take any of those home with you, this last weekend, 22nd and 23rd, your last opportunity, because that'll be 3 weeks. And then we're nixing the old palms, and they will be burned for ash for next Ash Wednesday. But lest we have an inferno of all these palms, please come and take some.
I had to make a delivery to Chilton for someone that requested
Take
it.
as many as you want.
Yeah, I took enough for her, and I'll ask her
I
if she
mean, you
wants
could
more.
put enough that she could walk from her
Yeah.
kitchen to the living room.
And yes. Joanne, you might see some more.
That's right. That's right.
You know what we got going on with the camera? Joe and I was wrestling with that camera.
Yeah.
I was wrestling with that camera to get it to do what it's doing right now.
He was.
Record. And
He
so
doesn't know how to push a button.
it was not cooperating.
It was not cooperating. It's more than a button.
Exactly. Technology, I'm learning to upgrade my skills in that. But we had talked about in the past of we now live stream the Mass at St. Peter and Paul on our YouTube channel, and that's done each Saturday. And some special Masses we've done as well, some funerals. Well, we want to do that same thing. We've said this before, I'll repeat it again. We want to do the same thing at Holy Rosary Parish, as well as St. Anne Parish. To that end, I was able to order cameras for both St. Anne and Holy Rosary. And the remote control, the technology on it is pretty amazing, and they're beautiful cameras. So they should be here. They should be here the latter part of this week, if not early next week. My good friend, Brian Bartle, he has the parts we need, use computers and encoders. He's got those parts coming in, he felt like the end of this week. And so next week, Brian and I will...
Knock on blue chairs.
Yes. If that all comes together, and Brian, he's more of he estimated next week he'll be more of the downside of his pile he's got to take over. But he said next week he'll have a little bit more time so we can work on it. And so look for that to happen. The camera system within a couple of weeks. St. Anne might be a little bit interesting in terms of the internet.
We got to get the internet over there.
But I think we should be okay there as well. And I did some background work on that. So
we could just have you stand there with an antenna in your hand.
That could be that.
Just we'll rearrange you how you're standing.
I might have to stand in the bell tower because it's a little higher.
That sounds good.
Although my heart wouldn't take it. But that's coming up, and we need people. We need a couple of people, 2-3 people that would like to be part of the recording of that. And if you want to, if you have young people, high school kids, anyone that wants to do that, see me, see that guy, call Sue, call Kim, call Laura. We'll help you get that done.
So we're really close. I know we've been talking about this for a long time, but that we're right around the corner. And if things go well, am I hearing you correctly?
Yes.
If things fall into place, that weekend of August 29th, 30th, maybe from Holy Rosary,
It could be very well be, yes.
you know, live from Saturday night, it's
And Holy Rosary, it could
Church.
very well be. The internet has to come into play, all of that with Spectrum.
So you guys pray that things fall, but it'll be soon. And there's a couple of donors here at Holy Rosary that have talked to me, and I'm grateful. I will be in touch with you hopefully in the next week. But this is terrific
Yes,
that,
it is.
that we're that close.
Yeah.
Speaking of something else that is this close, I've been talking to you about it for a little while, and we are again right around the corner is our website. We, as pastoral councils, it's been in the works for a year. We started this conversation last spring as to is it best for us to have one linked parish website because we're 3 linked parishes. And so we've been working on the best of all of our sites and trying to bring all that to one and what we liked and brought it back 3 times to our pastoral councils. And we think we are good. And anyway, long story short, the website's live. I just learned that about an hour ago. But I'm not going to tell you what the address is yet because in the next week I'll send it to staff, see if we can work out a couple of the last kinks. But again, this same weekend, this August 29th, 30th might be a big weekend. We're going to bless students, might have a video from Holy Rosary.
Sure.
We want to tell you what the new website address is. And it won't be just that you have to blow out the old one and go to this new one. When we decide to share it with you, which I hope is next weekend, all of our websites then will link to it. So if you go here at Holy Rosary, if you go onto Holy Rosary's website, and you put in Holy Rosary, it will direct you to this one, or St. Anne's, or whatever. And
And it really looks good.
This close.
Lori did a
Lori
fantastic,
came.
did a fantastic job on it. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see. It's really close. It won't be perfect. Even when it goes live, there'll be bugs. We'll get them out. But yeah.
There's one thing I need to do in relation to that, to the live feed for the live stream, and I don't know how quite how to do that.
Yeah, but we need to figure that out.
Yeah, and I'll get that. Where you click on this link, it'll take it automatically live, and getting.
Yeah.
I don't read the computer language too well, and the coding.
Again, we can get Brian.
Yeah, Brian and I are going to work on it next week. We're going to so that it's easier that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
A couple other things that I've got, and I think I'll be done. But the first is, hey, remember that it's not just weekends we're open. You know, we're open for prayer during the week. And if you need a little bit of space for whatever reason that we're not talking about, because you just want to be there in the presence of Christ and in the presence of others, but not too close, come in for prayer. First of all, churches, you know, we can open them up, whatever, but we have exposition and adoration Monday from 4 to 5 at Saints Peter and Paul. Wednesday here, Holy Rosary, 4:30 to 5:30. And Fridays, St. Anne, 4 to 5. Just come and spend time in prayer. It's good. Does the body good, does the spirit good.
Yes.
Does all of us good. It's good to be back home, if nothing else. If you haven't been, it's a good way to put your foot in the water. Or daily mass is
Yes.
a good way to put your foot in the water.
Yes. Daily
Tuesday, 8:30 at Saints Peter and Paul. Lots of room, still in the church. Wednesday, 8:30 here. Lots of room at Holy Rosary. And Thursday at St. Anne, 8:30. Plenty of room.
Yes.
So
yes.
come, that's again, good way just to wade into the waters.
8:30 Mass is early to get your day started and
Yeah.
have Eucharist and just see the people and visit with them and there is, I like the term physical distancing and social distancing.
I like that too.
I don't like social distancing. I like physical because we need to be one with each other. Physical distancing, there's plenty of that going on. So come on out.
I agree. Yep, good distinction. Thank you, Dennis. We've had a couple of funerals lately, and lots of baptisms, which has been great. Wonderful weekend this last weekend. Maybe you're going to want to talk about that, Dennis, in a moment. But we've had a number of funerals. Peter and Paul this last weekend. We had John Huberty's funeral. Coming up here at Holy Rosary this weekend, we're going to have Terry Libum's funeral. And And then next weekend, Gloria Svetlik on the 29th, we're going to have her funeral here at Holy Rosary. So I bring those up just to lift those three in prayer and to lift their families in prayer too.
Yes.
During this time.
Yeah, funerals are those are the first to my heart, just to be with the families. I have one tomorrow and one Saturday in Chilton, and to be with the family in that time of need and pray for them and with them is very essential as sisters and brothers in Christ. I think it's very important. Yes.
Do you want to talk about the confirmation, baptism?
So last Saturday, yes. So last Saturday was, I thought, one of the most extraordinary days that I can remember being part of a liturgy.
6 sacraments took place here at Holy Rosary last Saturday, the 15th of August. How appropriate on the day of the Assumption.
Yes. Daisy Villabas, I think I pronounced her last name, Villabas. Daisy wanted to be confirmed. So I worked with her, between 8 and 9 hours. We met in this room here, and I worked through the adult catechism to get her prepared. Joe and I talked about what kind of curricula we wanted to use to get her prepared to be confirmed. So that confirmation took place last week, Saturday, at the 4 o'clock Mass, Father John Girardi.
Yep.
And when Joe talks about the 6 sacraments, the first of the 6 on that day was reconciliation. So that was one sacrament.
3 o'clock?
At 3 o'clock. And then the second sacrament took place, Eucharist, the Mass.
During Mass, yeah.
During Mass. Third sacrament was, Daisy was, during that Mass, was confirmed.
Yep.
And that was wonderful.
Counting at home, that's 3.
That's 3 if you're counting. And then after Mass, Daisy wanted her son.
Oh, you're skipping one.
Oh, yes. After Mass, we had the anointing of the sick.
4.
That's 4. Father John and I we did that. We had a good crowd for that, by the way. Thank you. So 4. And then after Mass, we had Daisy's son, Hector, little guy. I baptized Hector into the body of Christ. He's claimed by Christ. That's 5. And then after the baptism for Hector, Daisy and her husband, Jesse, who were legally married, wanted their marriage blessed, sacramentalized. That's 6 sacraments. 6 sacraments.
We're only missing one. Dennis, you should have been ordained again.
Yes, I should.
We would have had a complete suite.
Yes, and it's just a wonderful. And can I share how that looked with the Spanish and English, if that's okay?
You already started.
See, I speak a few words in Spanish, just enough to get by. Very little. One of the most important words, well, is baño. Everybody knows baño is.
That is an important one.
And where I go, yes. But so Daisy speaks Spanish. She's bilingual. She helps out in the high school system here as an educator.
Yeah.
And so I speak very little. So I was able to get a bilingual book. We have one here for baptisms. So Daisy, mother of Hector being baptized, she read her Spanish part. I did the English, did the sacrament. And Daisy's parents and family, and Jesse's parents and family were present, approximately 30 plus people. So they spoke mostly Spanish. So Daisy would read the Spanish parts when I would finish up with the English parts for the baptism, and she would read it to the families. Got done with that. Then we had the wedding, the marriage. And Jesse's sister, she read the Spanish parts, and I read the English parts. Everything was valid, everything was listed in that sacrament, and I watched it, and it was done in Spanish. What it did, Joe, what I noticed about that, I really almost teared up, because what it did, it helped that families who don't speak the best of English to understand in their world that we're one, that we try to reach out to them, be welcoming, to be part of the body of Christ, that nothing should separate us, nothing should inhibit us and impede our being one with one another. So I was able to do that and help them in that regard. And Daisy went so far as one sentence I just wanted to give a little reflection in baptism, and she gave that little bit of reflection in one sentence she said in Spanish. It was this a delightful day, and it was a beautiful day. The six sacraments, and the family, I think, had a stronger connection here, and that's my takeaway on it. So it was wonderful to be part of that.
Well, and I thank you and Father John for helping, and Daisy and her family too, Jesse and Hector. But I mean, again, it just shows our faith transcends language and culture. It is bigger.
Yes.
It is bigger. So we can't let that small stuff separate us.
That's right. The universality of the church universal, is so important to recognize. Yes, it's the brick and mortar, but it's more than that. It's far and away more than that, and that to me is foundational in my faith. The universal church, wherever I've traveled in the world, and I recognize that, and this was really wonderful and enabling for me to see that even more. And so it was an honor to be part of that.
Last thing I want to say, coming up in about a month, and I'm just putting the first shot across the bow. We've got the Friends of the Poor Run Walk. We do it every year, coming out of here at Holy Rosary. It's on Saturday, September 26th, so again, about 5 weeks away. But, again, knowing the need at this time, any money raised will all go to whichever St. Vincent de Paul organization and pantry that the people participating want to give it to. So it's just a time we get together. Registration, I believe, is 8 to 9 in the morning, and the run/walk is at 9.
Good.
And we invite people to be a part of that and get some pledges and things. And again, all this way is a way of raising money and assisting those who are helping those in need at this time. So, good stuff.
Yes, it is. One more thing, and we can't show you, but I want to give you a teaser.
Yep.
Come on out in front of the rectory, drive past, stop in. It is completed. The big tree is gone. It's landscape. There's water. Water's not going to be on the sidewalk, on the new
They set up
sidewalk.
a whole new drainage system there.
Yeah, so
There's a lot of digging they did.
I watched the boys, and they worked hard.
Yeah, Jim McNally, Rich Hoffman, John Cleansing, all of them did
Yes.
a whole lot of good work.
It's just wonderful to watch that, and so come by and take a look at. Grass is growing now. Great job.
Yep.
Kudos out to them.
Kudos to you to figure out how to get that camera.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. This was good, Joe. Anything else? I think I'm
I
good.
only heard him curse about 4 times.
That before we started recording.
So I'm blessing him right now with, yeah.
Thank you, Joe. It was good, and I have to get ready for a few things. You have to get ready, but I want to say thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
I have to go get hit by a board coming down off my roof
Duck,
Yep.
duck, goose.
like a cat.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye.